this WrestleTalk news, has the identity of Uncle Howdy been leaked? WrestleMania 39 breaks a huge record, Luke's review of Raw, and more.
Support WrestleTalk!
Bray Wyatt returned to WWE at the start of October 2022, meaning it's been 3 months. In that time, we've come to understand that there's another lad associated with him called Uncle Howdy, and that is genuinely about it. Since the introduction of Uncle Howdy, fans have been wondering who would be portraying this other wrestler, and if it is in fact another wrestler at all, then it could be another one of Bray Wyatt's own personas. Have you ever seen them in the same room together? No, I didn't think so. It was then confirmed to not be Bray Wyatt when we saw them in the same room together. Damn it. Which then began speculation anew, and now we might have an actual answer as to who's under the mask of Uncle Howdy. PW Insider was reporting prior to last night's Raw that brother of Bray Wyatt and former NXT champion Bo Dallas was due to be at the show last night, and considering that Uncle Howdy was on the show, there have been Easter eggs hinting at Uncle Howdy being Bo Dallas, the fact he's Bray Wyatt's brother, and he was top of fan speculation list. It all seems to indicate that Bo may be the man portraying Uncle Howdy. We will most likely be getting more concrete answers in the Pitch Black match at the Royal Rumble. Or maybe not, and this story will continue as it is in the same gear until WrestleMania 39. But there is some good news for WWE on the subject of WrestleMania 39, as WWE sent out a press release to promote the fact that the upcoming WrestleMania from Hollywood has broken the all-time gate record for any WrestleMania, despite not announcing any matches and it being 3 months until the show. The previous gate record for a Mania was WrestleMania 32. You know, the bad one, with $17.3 million, which, to be fair, it had 700 million people in attendance after WWE's inflated numbers, so that makes sense. In all seriousness though, Mania 39 looks to be shaping up to be a hell of a show, as long as Vince can keep his grubby little mitts off creative. Go see Grubby Little Mitts on tour. Controversy rose its head again with regard to Tessa Blanchard recently, like she hasn't had enough of that, when her husband Daga posted to Twitter saying that the worst thing someone can do in a relationship is cheat. This was quickly deleted, but now news has emerged from Blanchard and Daga themselves that the two have decided to separate after 2.5 years of marriage. The statement clarified that they are parting ways as friends, there was no infidelity or other interests involved in the decision, and they want the best for each other in the future. Now, hot tag to Luke for his review of Raw.
Thank you for your support on Patreon, The Cleaner Kenny Shah, and because Kevin Stone Con said so, get your own Patreon shoutout on the WrestleTalk news by going to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. And now it's time for my review of Monday Night Raw, aka the Get Your Filthy Hands Off My Good Version of Raw edition of Monday Night Raw, in about 5 minutes. The show opened with Kevin Owens coming out to cut a promo as Kevin Patrick told us there's never been a better time to be a WWE fan. I think that was certainly true this time last week. Owens was out here to tell us that he's going to win the title from Roman Reigns, but was interrupted by JBL and Baron Corbin, who instead said that Corbin was going to win the Rumble and then main event WrestleMania to win the titles off Roman. Owens here is a lovely visual description of my reaction to this promo. It led to a match between Owens and Corbin, which was totally fine, and Big Kev won. The Bloodline, minus Sami Zayn, so minus 5 stars, attacked Owens after the match, which was broken up by Adam Pearce and the true star of Monday Night Raw, P.T. Williams. The Bloodline argued with Pearce backstage, and it was announced that Solo Sikoa would take on Dolph Ziggler tonight, with the Usos barred from ringside. After a recap of Alexa Bliss's attack on Bianca Belair last week, Bliss cut a promo calling herself the new face of evil. She hasn't felt this good in a long time. She is the one in charge. She's got the whole world in her hands. But despite telling us that she's in total control here, a creepy video suggested otherwise as Uncle Howdy made his Raw debut, and at least it was less goofy than it was on SmackDown that one time. We then, quite hilariously, cut to commercial and came back for a match with no mention of what just happened by commentary. It had a real never mind that here comes Mongo vibe to it, but it was effective. I've been saying for a while that Bliss has been directionless on Raw for well over a year, and while I wasn't the biggest fan of the Bliss and Wyatt pairing during the Thunderdome era, this is at least some interesting character direction for Alexa Bliss, and she herself felt more herself in this promo. She was able to emote, show some personality. What it all leads to, I'm none the wiser, but I am at least intrigued. Bayley beat Mia Yim with her feet on the ropes, but gave Michin way more of this match in an effort to get her over. And it worked. While the crowd didn't react to Yim coming out for the match, they were cheering her on by the end. Or at least the piped in crowd noise suggested they were into this. Either way, thumbs up. Damage Control later beat her down backstage because, like Becky Lynch, she has no friends. I thought she was part of the OC. Commentary sadly dropped the news that Johnny Gargano is currently injured, and his wife Candice LeRae, while being watched by Nikki Cross, set up a match with Rhea Ripley. Austin Theory once again dropped a John Cena reference in his promo. He is 100% facing John Cena at WrestleMania, and called out Seth Rollins, who also revealed that he is not 100% after his knee injury last week, but he'll be okay to be in the Rumble. Both men said they'd win that and then win the titles at Mania, but Bobby Lashley seemed to have other ideas as he came down and speared Theory out of his boots, seemingly turning babyface again in the process. Because later on he had a meeting with MVP backstage where they agreed to be back on the same page, which would appear to be the end of the partnership of MVP and Omos, with MVP also revealing that he wants to expand the Hurt Business. Who do you think is going to join the group? Let me know in the comments down below. In our 3-count prediction video of this year's Royal Rumble, I suggested Mustafa Ali, and I feel like I could be in the running to be right, as Ali revealed in a backstage segment that Dolph Ziggler was supposed to tag with him in tonight's Turmoil match, but Ziggy chose to face Sikoa instead. And Ali looked pretty unimpressed with Dolph Ziggler ditching him. Rhea Ripley absolutely squashed Candice LeRae, who appears to have given up on her quest for revenge on Damage Control, and we got the second of the Cody Rhodes return to WWE video packages. Byron Saxton tried to interview Bronson Reed, but The Miz interrupted saying they're best mates. Reed instead said that Miz and he will keep being friends so long as Miz keeps paying him. Solo Sikoa beat Dolph Ziggler in a match that got really good in the final few minutes when Sikoa hit the Samoan Spike out of a powerbomb position. That was rad. And speaking of rad, the final hour of this Raw broadcast was dedicated to the one true king of Monday Night Raw, Dominic Mysterio. After recaps of Dom and Rhea crashing the Mysterio's family Christmas and Dom's promo from prison, which I admit I was totally wrong about last week, Dom and the rest of Judgment Day did a Miz TV segment which wasn't as funny as I think it could have been. All of the elements were there for this to be funny. Dom is great, Rhea is great, Finn is great, Priest is great, Miz is great, but it fell flat in front of this live crowd. The Miz at one point had to ask the audience to react to what was being said. Dom's promo of his time in prison was supposed to elicit laughs or boos from the crowd, but it got neither. And Miz's revelation that Dom only spent a couple of hours in county jail got zero reaction. It's a shame, as I think this can work, but it didn't in front of this audience. And this audience was loud all night, especially for guys like Owens, the Usos, Corbin, Bayley, Rollins, and Theory, and they were loud later on during the Gauntlet match. So I think it was just this segment that didn't work. It did lead to, however, a near hour-long tag team turmoil gauntlet match where the winner would win a tag title shot at some point. The OC had a fine outing with Judgment Day but came up short after some interference by Dominic Mysterio. Judgment Day then beat the Hurt Business team of Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, which does little for MVP's promo earlier in the night where he said he was getting their careers back on track. But the most surprising part of all of this was Judgment Day beating Alpha Academy, who worked as the babyfaces. This match built to an Otis babyface hot tag, and the crowd exploded when he tagged in and ran wild. It was so awesome. It's easy to forget how good of a babyface Otis is, and him hitting the Caterpillar was a wonderful dose of 2019 nostalgia. The finish of this part of the match saw Otis hit the Vader bomb, but Balor pulled Gable on top of him, and this distracted Otis long enough for Priest to pin and eliminate Alpha Academy. But it also meant that Balor couldn't continue, so Adam Pearce made Dominic Mysterio the new tag partner for Damian Priest to take on the final team in the gauntlet, the Street Profits. And boy, in the final few minutes, this got damn good, with Montez Ford getting the hottest of hot tags and running hot wild, really picking the crowd up, and his and Dawkins dive getting great reactions. Damian Priest, as this match was coming to its closing moments, had been wrestling for over 15 minutes, but it was Dominic Mysterio who got the pin on Ford with his feet on the ropes with Rhea holding them down. The Judgment Day are the new #1 contenders to the tag team titles and had an epic stare down with the Usos which popped my boner massive. It capped off what was actually a pretty average episode of Raw. The wrestling was good, the promos were good, and the final hour was built around Judgment Day, which it always should be. This week's Raw is a very solid 4 out of 5.
In this WrestleTalk news, could Vince McMahon take over WWE Creative? Triple H's Royal Rumble signing spree, compulsory CM Punk speculation story, and more.